we go. Wait for some people to come on. Oh, that's a terrible music. Sorry?
They're missing all the good music.
I know. They are. Hello, we've got somebody online. Hello. Say hello. Let me know who you are. Playing some special music tonight. Hello, Kate. How are you? Oh, you're in lockdown, aren't you? And Bella. I knew Bella would be up. So it's telling me numbers. Can you see the numbers? Hello, Lucy. So I'm playing We Are Family by the Pointer Sisters, because that's my cousin and we're like sisters. Hello, Ian. Right. I'll just let it play a little bit longer. Did anybody else like the Pointer Sisters? I used to love their music.
Disco era.
Oh yeah, disco era. Disco.
Oh God.
We're too old for discos now.
I don't think they have discos anymore.
It's garages.
No, they have clubs.
Okay. How many of you go discoing still? Ian's a good dancer, I've been told. We'll have to try that one out, Ian. Oh, hello, Lynn. I thought you were not coming on this week. Right, let me turn this off. I'm very excited that you are on, Lynn, because I was thinking, oh, how disappointing that we won't see you. Disco Inferno. That's a different song altogether, Bella.
No, but it's still disco.
Yeah. Many years ago, I used to go discoing, and so did Jackie. Yes, and come home at ridiculous hours in the morning, and then get into trouble and be grounded.
I took my dad's car one day and came out to find that the front wheels had been nicked.
Oh, I bet Uncle John was not happy.
Did he? So from then on, he drove me every single Thursday to the disco.
I love that story. I love that story. Okay, so we're going to say hello to a couple of people. Kate's just come on, Kate Mulligan. This is your last week, Lynn. I made a big boo-boo, Lynn, you know. My granddaughter's birthday's on the 20th. Oops. Anyway, it's okay. And Ian's a dad dancer. I love it. Okay, we'll have to try you out. Jack Eckhart Langelund. I can never say that properly, but hello. How are you in Denmark, or is it Sweden? You'll have to tell me. And Heather is in South Australia, over in Border Town. Hello, Heather. And Sandra we met the other night. Hello again, Sandra. It seems like yesterday you were here. Okay, so if any of you have got any questions that you would... Oh, hello, Lenny again. You've made it a second week on the trot. That's really, really lovely. Yeah, your battery's running out. You need to remember to charge it. But anyway, it's really good that you're on here. So, what questions have you got? What can I help you with? As long as it's not, can I have a reading? Because this is not about readings. I say that every week and somebody always comes on and says, can you do me a reading? Well, sorry, there are times for readings and there's time for not, and this is a not one. So hello, Mira, nice to see you again. I think you've been on before, I recognise the name. Denmark, I was right first time. See, I must be psychic or something. Anyway, all good, all good, all good. And I'm hoping everybody's well, and it's so lovely to have everybody on here. Hello, Vicky. Nice to see you again. But it is nice to see everybody, and it's nice to be back. You know, Jackie was just asking me, am I going to continue to do these next year? And what do you think? Do you want me back next year or not? I'll leave that one to you. So questions, let me have your questions. How can we better trust and open up to messages from Spirit? Okay. It is nice to see you, Mira. Yes, definitely. Yay! Okay, let's connecting to spirit and showing evidence seems easy, but what about when people want to know about their futures? What do you do? Okay, let's go with Lenny's question first. It's good to get some questions in straight away, and I've got a couple written down here that somebody sent in. How can we better trust and open up to messages from spirit? Well, that's all down to you actually, Lenny, and that's learning to trust and learning to believe, and then you literally just hand yourself over to the spirit. Yes, thank you, Lynn. You just hand yourself over to the spirit world, and you trust that when you ask the question, they're going to give you the answer, and then you also trust that the messages that you're getting are correct and that you are interpreting them correctly, because you may get some information and sometimes we get lost in translation, and we don't interpret it the way spirit wants us to interpret it. And then we've got a third thing where our recipient doesn't necessarily understand what we're saying. So we have to wait until we get a yes from the recipient. If the recipient says, oh, I don't know, or no, then we have to go back to the spirit world with very, very big, huge confidence and say, give it to me in a way that they'll understand. And I've got to the point now where I don't argue with spirit because I know they're right. And even if a recipient say no, 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 I know that they'll eventually come round and say, yeah, you're right. And it may be next week, next year, or 2 minutes after you've said it. But that is all about practice. And Lenny, I'm really hoping that you come back to class because I think it's going to be really important that you do that. Okay, so Kate asked the question, connecting to spirit and showing evidence seems easy. No, it's not. But what about when people want to know about their futures? What do you do? Okay, so I get 90% of the time people come and I ask them about why do they want a reading, and I would say 90% of the time they say, I want to know, am I going to meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger and get off the day job, or meet a new man, or can I leave my husband? So my answer is instantly, well, I'm a medium and I'm going to connect to your loved ones in the spirit world, to which some of them just drop their jaws because they don't know what that's about. And I say that we'll wait for the spirit people, your spirit loved ones, to give you that information, and we'll see what happens. And it always comes through that way for me. But I always tell them that I'm a medium, and first and foremost I'm a medium. So I try not to do, because we're not, some people think that if you're a clairvoyant, you're actually a teller of the future, and it's actually not right. So clairvoyant means clear seeing of spirit, and a lot of people don't get that. They do not understand that. So I just saw your message, Lynn. Come back, yes, but not on a Monday night. Okay, we might change it to another night. Yeah, connecting to spirit and showing evidence seems easy. No, it isn't, because again, we've got to be trusting. I've already said that, but we've also got to be very ethical in what we do. And we've got to know that when we're connecting to the spirit world and giving the information, we're not making it up. We are actually getting that information from spirit. And I was only saying this to a class this morning, that connecting to spirit is the easiest thing because you're listening to them talking to you. And when you're working psychically, you're delving into the energy around a person, which I find so much harder because it's like rummaging around in the dark. Whereas there, I'm just listening to what they've got to say. And I know I've mentioned that many, many times since I've been doing this since March. I was talking yesterday, we were talking, weren't we, about how long I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many. I think I've only missed 2, and that was through illness. And the rest I've done 15 straight off, and then 1 a month, 1 a week from April. So it's been pretty good. So yeah, if they, so that's what I do, Kate, is I tell them that I'm a medium. I'm going to connect mediumistically to their loved ones, and and I'll work that way. And I tell you what, 90% of the time they actually get the information that they like. But that actually takes me to something else. I told you I'd go off plan, didn't I? But it takes me to something else because somebody comes for a reading and they want something. It's not what they want, it's what they need. And sometimes when you give them what they need, they're not very happy about it. And I remember many years ago, and I know I've shared this story, a lady come in and she sat down and her nan connected to me and said, she wants you to tell you to leave her husband. And I went, oh. And she said, but we're not going to tell her to do that. And I went, oh my gosh, this is going to be interesting. So Nan came through and she's giving all this information. And yep, the lady had wanted to leave her husband. And the Nan said, you don't do that. And told her how and why. And a year later, I got she reluctantly paid me my money and left. And then a year later, I got an email from her saying, you probably won't remember who I am, but I was the lady that wanted to leave her husband and you told me I couldn't. But it wasn't me that told her, it was her nan. But it was just brilliant that, after a year she comes back and she said, I've got the best marriage ever. So when we go for a reading, we're going to get what we need, not what we want. So hold on, we got a couple. Lenny said, I'll work on not Mondays, Lynn. I'll try. Actually, that might be good because then I can do a class. Okay, we'll have to talk about that one, Lynn. Danny's up and about. Whoa! So our healing, our spiritual healing works. Now, this is my healing book. I don't want to dazzle you with light. This is my healing book. Anybody that's got names for healing, give them to me. I will put them in. They get worked on every time I work, and I know everybody else connects as well when they can. So that's really, really good news about Danny. I'm really, really happy about that. Lenny said he may come back next year, currently dealing with and healing from past trauma and learning other modalities. Well, that's a good thing, Lenny, because we always need to improve ourselves internally and externally. And I know, for a long time I didn't actually connect to doing this work because I was healing myself and I didn't realize what I was doing. Actually, I sat in a development circle for 8 years and got nothing. And I realized many years later that spirit were building my spirit because it had been crushed. And I needed to have that working fully before I could actually do this work. So yeah, we need to work on other things. So keep in touch with us though, Lenny, because that's important. If I can do anything to help, let me know. So Lynn said, mediums connect to spirit and get the information from their guides and your guides. That's an interesting one, Lynn. And when you connect to the person's aura, what sort of readings do you say that is? Okay. So yes, we connect to our guides and their guides, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit odd, but I get a direct link. I don't have to go through guides. I go straight to the person that's talking to me, and then straight to the recipient. But I know a lot of people, you see them working. Yes, I saw Derek Akora, lovely Derek, who passed not that long ago, and he talked to Sam all the time. All right, Sam, I'll tell it. Yes, Sam, okay. But I don't do that. I like to get that direct connection to spirit. And when you're connecting to the aura, I would actually say personally, that's more of a psychic reading because that is the energy around a person. And in the auric energy, you can see when people are sick or unwell or depressed because it shows up as dark spots or color comes as well. Not, I don't quite understand that, Marcus. Not wow. Does that mean you're not impressed with what I'm saying? That's how we do it too, not through guys. Oh, okay. So you do it the same way. Okay, yeah. I do that direct link. I know, Marcus, that you do as well, and it's lovely to see you on here. I don't know if you've come on here before, so welcome and thank you. We work the same, not through guides. I meant thank you. I thought you were going to tell me I was rubbish then, and you're rubbish. Get off. Anyway,
share a moment.
Of course, you can share a moment, Jackie.
I've been at Val shows many times, and one of the most amazing shows I've ever seen at Val, It was in Victoria, and it was in a little hall, and the place was packed. And she had on this amazing red dress. Anyway, she gets up on the stage and in her 6-inch Dolly Parton heels, and she struts up and down across the stage, and she's frenetic. And as I'm watching from the back of the room, Val goes this way, and there's this white light that follows her. Val turns and goes through the white light that has to double take and go through her again. Every time she walked, there was this white aura that followed her. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I don't know, Val, if I've seen it more than that, that night you were great, and that aura that came and followed you. And I said to Alex, it was with Alex, I said to Alex, did you see that? And I'm fairly sure she'd have said yes, but yeah, you're talking about auras.
Yeah.
Val's is pure white.
I'll pay you later, Jackie.
I
know. Yeah, and Lynn's picked up cancer through readings. Oh, it's just telling me my battery's low. I moved everything around earlier on, so just excuse me a minute. Oh, no. Oh, I've got this dodgy wire that doesn't want to work properly, and hold on, bear with me. The camera. There we go. We should be back up. Do you know what I was saying earlier on? I just hate technology. It just drives me insane. Okay, hello, we're back. Yes, so Lynn was just saying about picking up things in the aura. Yeah, you can pick up healing. You know, I walk down the street and I look at people's energies and you think, oh my gosh, you've got a black cloud over your head, you're depressed. And you can see the different things around them and you think, yep, they're suffering, they're sick. And this is where I send that healing energy out to people. Yes, and I actually saw Tony Stockwell. Hello, Danina. Long time no see. I saw Tony Stockwell working, who's a fantastic medium in the UK, and he had that same aura, but his was red, and it was thick, and it would swirl, and both my friend Ella and I, we actually saw, we actually saw, and both were going, can you see that? Yes, you know, so it is really, really magical when you can see that. Lenny, you've got issues with multiple spirits coming through in the readings altogether. How do your readers gain control of the session? And that is about intention, Lenny. You know, I told you in class, and I'm going to say this to everybody here, I always, before I start a demonstration, I always go, right, I want the biggest and the best, and I want it now. Don't mess me around. Don't make me look a fool, please.
Yes, Faruka.
Yeah. But they listen. So I put my intention out for the way I want to work. And Spirit have a respect for me and my work, and I have a respect for them. So it's a two-way street, it's a two-way path, whatever you want to say. But if I put the intention out with how I want to work, that's what comes back at me. And the students have proved that this last 2 weeks, because I said to them last week, and I think I did mention this, I said to them, what is it you want to work on? What is it you want to improve? I want names, I want places, I want jobs, I want linking information, I want brilliant evidence. And what did they do in class? They did exactly that, and every student did everything that was listed because they had put the intention out to Spirit, and Spirit listened and worked with them in exactly that way. So Lenny, it is about how you put the intention out, and this is where you need classes, because this is where you get taught these things. And I love it because, you know, some of these things that I teach I haven't taught, or I haven't been taught, sorry. I get them, you know, I'm suddenly starting the class and think, oh, okay, yep, we'll do that tonight. So I listen to Spirit as well. So Lynn has put here, the guides are the gatekeepers who let Spirit come through. I do get that. Because otherwise we will have multiple spirits, and maybe that is something that you should be aware of, Lenny, is that if your gatekeepers are working, and maybe you should ask them to step forward and say, only let through one at a time, only let through the relevant guides that need to speak and pass information on. So Anyway, okay, so those are those questions. Now, on my little piece of paper here, I've got to tell you about this. So, Jackie arrives from Melbourne because she's now out of lockdown and was super excited. She's had a suitcase packed for weeks. And then, yeah, day before she was jumping up and down. Anyway, she arrived here last Wednesday. Wednesday. And I'm sitting in my lounge on Saturday, where I was going to have a party for a pre-Christmas party and a hold on, I got to do this. Sorry, folks. A citizenship celebration. I promised you I wouldn't talk about that anymore.
You're right.
And we were sitting there, and Jackie said, "Oh, you know what? Your room would look nice." This laid out, and I went, "Oh, I can't believe you've come up with that. I've thought of every configuration except that one." So I said, "Okay, right, let's do it." So
I went, "Oh no! It doesn't matter. It was just that was it. We did it.
yeah,
Pushed and shoved and pulled
and it was funny because then the class that I had on Monday, one of the messages that came through was for me, and it said, "You've been jiggling pictures around and moving them on your walls and balancing them." And of course, that's exactly what we've been doing. So isn't it fantastic that Spirit's around and watching everything that we're doing? I've got Spirit with me, so they're itching my nose. So Lynn, you've put, that was right, what I said to Lenny. I really feel, Lenny, that you need more classes because well, you can always listen to this at another time, Lenny. But it is important, and a lot of people, they do a little bit of mediumship or psychic, and then they think they're fantastic and they can go out and do this work. And I disagree. I think I've been doing this 30 years and I'm still learning. I'm still doing classes. I learn from all of my students every day. I'm still doing courses to make sure that I've got the best information that I can pass on to students, and that's 30 years. Lenny, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I'm sure it's not 30 years worth. Lynn, I know you've been doing it an awful long time. Danina has been doing it an awful long time. And I do get a little bit upset when I see people. I had somebody this week, or not this week, it was last week, done a class and then put out on Facebook, "I'm now doing readings." And I had to say something about it because I said, one, don't use my name in the fact that you've been taught by me, because I will be very unhappy. But two, you can't charge for something when you're not qualified enough to do it, or you're not experienced enough to do it. And as I've mentioned so many times, there is a huge responsibility that goes with the work that we do, because we're dealing with people, we're dealing with people's emotions, we're dealing with people's grief, and we're dealing with people's lives. Something that we say, and I've come across this so many times, something a medium says can make you jump off a bridge or keep you on the bridge. You can hear I'm getting hot under the collar about it. And I've seen people who've jumped off the bridge in very, very not nice ways. And I just, and okay, Lenny, you said less than 10 years, and has that been 10 years continuous or 10 years on and off? I still don't think that's enough. But anyway, that's my viewpoint on that one. Okay, so she changed all my furniture around.
No, I didn't.
And it looks fabulous. It looks fabulous. I am so happy with how it looks. And we had a really, really good evening with people. Okay. I'm going to get stopped here again. So Lynn's saying that the students need to sit and be taught to recognise their gatekeeper, as there have been spirit who have evil intent. Okay, now evil spirits and me don't go together because, and I hope others will agree with me on this one. Again, if you put your intention out that you want to work with spirit and you want to work in the best way and you want to work in love and light and you put that beautiful bubble of spiritual energy around you, then evil spirits won't come in. I don't allow them into my space. My space is sacred. My space is only for who I want in there. But again, you're right, Lynn, we need to be able to identify whether we're in that sacred space or not, and who we are connecting to. So I do agree with that. And Lenny, if it's on and off, then you need to do something more constant. You know, I think I said earlier, I sat in a development circle for 8 years and got nothing. But Spirit kept telling me to go. Julie, yes, intent. Julie's in my classes, and I teach about intent all the time. I know the birds are right outside here. Right outside here. I think the baby ones are there. Anyway, okay. So now I've got my citizenship out of the way. I've got to find something else to talk about. So I'm working on a new topic. Anyway, so I did my beautiful walk again this morning. I went out at 7:15. I only did 10 kilometers today. But you know, I think sometimes we walk around with our eyes closed, and sometimes there is so much beauty around us. And I've just been noticing the types of flowers, and even the Life Surfing Club this morning. That was the Life Surfing Club. I've never noticed the beautiful paintings on the side of it this morning. So until this morning. So I took a photograph of it because I thought it looked really, really beautiful. Okay. So Lynn's put up there, it's like looking at 2 green apples. One is plastic and the other one is real. So going back to whether spirit is real or not. That's a really good way of putting it, actually, Lynn. So well done. Now, I mentioned again before, somebody said to me when I put up about my citizenship, I've mentioned that word again, that I dreamed, believed and achieved. And we can all do that. We can all have a dream, but we have to believe that the dream will come true and that we can achieve that dream. And only we can do that. And you've got to be, again, it's about intention. I'm putting that intention out to the universe, to the universal energy. I want to work with spirit. I will work with spirit. I'm going to Australia. I am going to. It's all about that. Just the intent. So everything in life is about intent, what you put out. Beauty is all around us, only if we know how to look for it and what we look at. Yes, that's right. And at it, that's right. Okay, so my lovely friend Brad, who asked a question last week, has asked a couple of questions this week. So give me your opinion. Sorry, croaky voice again. I still haven't been to see the specialist yet. So Brad went to a church, and he was asked to get up and talk. And they asked him to talk about how did you come into spiritualism. So he said to me, how did I come into spiritualism? And just remember that you've only got an hour to talk, cheeky devil. And at what point did I know that this work was what I was going to do? Well, I never wanted to do this work. I mean, Jackie hates me because I've got the spooky genes. Oh, I know, but I've got the spooky genes in the family. And she said, how come you got all the spooky genes? And I don't know. I've been seeing spirits since I was 7. At 16, I pushed it away because I was frightened. Yes, Lynn. I pushed it away because I was frightened. And sorry, I've just got thrown there. How did I get into spirit? Yes. And then it was only when I was 34 and I was going through a very, very difficult time in my life. I needed some help. And I turned to the spiritualist church. And it was bizarre because I actually rang the local council and said, where is the local spiritualist church? Don't ask me why. I know now why, because spirit were, pushing me, and because they were already there and they'd respected the fact that I'd asked them to step back. I found this spiritualist church, and I remember going in there the first few times, and I was like, death warmed up, and greasy hair, and holy leggings, and a barber jacket, which is a farmer's jacket, if those who don't know, and it was all horrible, and I sat in the back. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And at the end of the first service, everybody came up and wanted to know who I was and why I was there. And I went week after week after week. And I found that going to the spiritualist church gave me the strength and the courage to get through my next week. I won't bore you with why my next week was going to be horrendous, but it was horrendous. And I really didn't think that I was actually going to pull through this life, let alone anything else, because it was so awful. But my children and spirit were the two things that helped me through. So I just trusted and believed that every week I was going to get these fantastic messages and proof and evidence, and I felt like a message hogger. I hate message hoggers now. Actually, I'm a message hogger still, but I felt like a message hogger because I get messages week after week after week, and it was just wonderful but it was giving me the strength and the courage to keep going. So it was like my fix, my drug, and I was just blown away by how I felt when I left the spiritualist church. And then I got involved with the classes that were going on at the church, and they were just amazing. So they had a beginner's mediumship, an advanced mediumship, a speaker's class, and a philosophy class. So I went to all of them because I was just fascinated. But I never, ever, ever wanted to be a medium. I'm just learning how to do this because this is just interesting for me. And then I'd gone from the beginner's class to the advanced class. Don't ask me how I did, but I was still at the teeth-pulling stage of giving messages. So it was, I've got a lady, she tells me she's your mum, where am I going, work out that. She's showing me a ring, and the teacher at the time used to say, what does the ring look like? Has it got a stone in it? What colour is the stone? If I got a book, what is the title of the book? Have a look at the spine, what does it tell you? So I was really pushed, and that's why I push my students. So that's how I learned to do the mediumship. And then one week she said to me, I think you need some outside practice. I'm doing a church service next Wednesday. I would like you to come along. And it was at not West Wickham, that was where I trained. It was at Kingston, Villiers Road Spiritualist Church. Anyway, I said yes. She said, you've only got to do one message. And I remember turning up at the church. I've still got the suit in the wardrobe that I wore, and I know what my hair looked like, and it was curly, and my makeup, and I was so frightened. I was shaking like a leaf. And I walked in and introduced myself, and they said, oh, yeah, come in. Geraldine said you were coming in to work with her tonight. And we sit and had a cuppa and a natter, a chat, and then we had another cuppa, and then another cuppa. And I could feel my energy levels going down and down and down. And Geraldine, her name is, she may come on here. Every time I speak to her, I say thank you. She didn't turn up. And the church steward said, you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to do the service. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how nervous I was? I'd only ever done one message on a student platform. Anyway, I really am sorry about the voice. It will get better one day. But anyway, so I got there, and so in the UK, you have an ante room, which is where the medium sits with the chairperson, and then the audience don't have anything to do with you. So then she walked me out, down a corridor, up some steps, onto the platform, and I turned around and looked, and there was a packed house. There was about 70 people in the church. And I'm sitting there, my head was pounding so hard, my heart was pounding so hard. I didn't hear anything that the chairperson was saying until she said, and over to you, Val. Oh, hello, Michelle. You had a birthday recently, happy birthday. Yeah, anyway, and I remember as soon as she said, over to you, Val, I said to Spirit very quickly, if you want me to do this work, you've got to stop all this, and I'm going to connect, and I'm trusting and handing over to you. Oh my goodness me. And that's exactly what happened. I think I'm still on camera. Okay, I just literally stood up. I did an address. I had to do the opening and closing prayer, and then I had to do all the messages. And it was the most scary thing I've ever done in my life. So that was my baptism of fire. and I've never looked back since then. I was very lucky that happened, and as I said, I still say thank you to Geraldine, because if her car hadn't broken down, I think 30 years later I'd say, no, I'm not good enough. Oh no, I'm not ready. Oh no, there's somebody better than me. But you know, I've learned to do what I'm doing, and I think I'm doing a good job. People tell me I'm doing a good job, so and the proof of the pudding's in the eating. It's what people say about your readings and your messages and your demonstrations. So that's how I got into spiritualism, and it was at that point, I suppose, I thought, well, this is what I'm doing, so I got up and did more. Yeah, it was a bit scary. Yeah, I knew about your birthday. Okay, so Brad also said that children of today are talented. Is there a reason for it, or very talented? And I asked him the question, was it talented in spiritual stuff or general? And he said both. And I agree, because I think, one, as parents, we've got more knowledge at our fingertips. And two, our children have got even more knowledge at their fingertips. We were talking about this tonight, Jackie, weren't we? If we want our phones updated, we hand them to our children. And Jackie was telling the story about being in Italy and an Italian lady coming up and asking her very tall blonde son, can you do my phone? And he just fixed it for her straight away, which was lovely. So, but youngsters have got all of the knowledge, and they're not frightened, they're not fazed by technology. This afternoon I was swearing at my computer. Yes, I do swear, but I was swearing at my computer because I couldn't get something to work, and I was so frustrated. And I did ring my son-in-law. Yes, it's me again, I'm so sorry, but... And he goes, oh, God. Anyway.
But they do roll their eyes at us.
They do roll their eyes at us. Yeah, oh, God, here they go. Mum's at it again, and yeah.
Haven't I already done that for you? Yes, but can you do it again?
Yeah, and as far as spiritual, I think they're spiritually more talented because, again, there's more at their fingertips. Spiritualism is more out there. There are more people doing it, so it's more in our grasp. When I was younger, you know, it used to be the little old lady that used to be in the corner in the dark, Mrs. Bradshaw. We both know Mrs. Bradshaw because we've both been to see her. I was 18 when I went to see her, and she lived in a very Victorian house with very high ceilings and dark furniture, and she'd hold your ring and go, they are telling me. But your mum went, my mum went, our Nana went, and it's, you know, and she must have been so ancient when we went to see her. But yeah, we went to see people like that, but it was still hush-hush, and we didn't talk about it. It was talked about behind closed doors. So when at the age of 7, between 7 and 16, I'm seeing and talking to spirit, and I was frightened. I never told anybody because I thought they'd think I was crazy. I am, but I don't care. I'll tell everybody I'm crazy. I don't care. But you know, it was a really frightening thing. Whereas now, youngsters know that they've got people that they can go and talk to, because we've put it out there in the public. It's in the public eye all the time. And I've done workshops for, and they were between 8 and 16, and they had no fears, and they connected so well, and they sat in a black box. What do they call those boxes? They call it the cabinet, the black cabinet. And they sat in the black cabinet, and they were able to see and connect to spirit so easily. So, yep, in answer to your question, yes, we've got some very talented youngsters coming up, and if we can help them to understand that seeing and talking to spirit is not a spooky thing or a scary thing, it's actually the most natural thing in the world to be able to do. And when we're born with the ability to heal and to connect, but it gets pushed away. And I believe from my experiences that it usually gets pushed away between the age of 5 and 8, when your parents are saying, oh, imaginary friends, oh, you're making it up, oh, don't be so silly. And yeah, Gypsy Rose Lee in Real Indoor Market. I went to a gypsy on Whitstable Bay, and Brighton. You know, the gypsy in the caravan on Brighton Pier. Yeah, and it was all very hush hush, and yeah. Anyway, we don't have to do that anymore. We can be open, but there are still people. You know, I put out last week on some of my local sites. Was anybody interested in psychic and mediumship development classes? I got one person put up there something along the lines, well, if you can teach people to do mediumship, I can teach dolphins to play darts. and oh, you must have seen that, the answer to that, or you must have seen that coming, or you must have seen what our response was going to be. And you think, oh, yeah. I've had 30 years of that, and it still makes me roll my eyes about it, you know. But listen, majority of people that I connect to, I used to be frightened to tell people what I did, but now I tell people, and you can see who is interested and who is not. You just know. So you know when to stop talking about it and when to continue that conversation. Yeah. So, and Brad also said about getting into a good circle. He is going to, yeah, Lordy, Bella. But Brad said about getting into a good circle. Now, he says about, he's met a couple of really good mediums on the circuit up where he is on the Gold Coast. And I'm really, really pleased about that, because there was a time where there were a lot of, you know, not, oh, okay, I'm going to get hammered for this, but not good mediums, or people that said they were mediums and they were actually psychics. And there's a huge difference, as I've already said. Mediums listen, psychics delve. Okay, and sorry if I've offended anybody, but so getting into a good circle. Now, it's really hard because most circles are closed circles, and you have to be invited. I know when I was invited into a circle, I had to wait, put my name into the church and said I'm looking for a circle, and I had to wait until there was a space in the circle. So somebody, it was like dead man's shoes, somebody leaves, you're invited in. But you have to just put that out there again and put the intention out. So Brad, I know you're going to listen to this, so you just put that intention out if you want to join a circle. But also, you know, some people have said to me, we've been in a circle for 6-8 years and we've not got past this, you know, we're still in the beginners group. And I said, well, you're obviously in the wrong group, you're in the wrong circle, and you need to move on. And I think sometimes people are frightened to make that move because they think they're going to offend somebody. But if you feel that, okay, I was knitting, for instance, if you feel that you're in a knitting class and you can only do cast on and off, and now you want to learn to do cable stitch, you need to go to a more advanced class. It's exactly the same with mediumship. If you feel that you're not getting past a certain point and you're getting blocked, I know Julie's on here. Julie will say yes to that, and Bella will say yes to that. Then you need to say, okay, I'm going to leave this circle, I'm actually going to join another circle, and then you have to find the other circle. The number of people that in the last, so before last year, so this year's been a complete wipeout really, hasn't it, with this virusy thing. But before that, the students that were saying, you know, 8, 10, 12 years in the development circle, and I can't get past here. And they come in with me and they listen to what's being said. They take on board, they put out that intention. And I think also some teachers, not all teachers, please don't get offended, but some teachers are a bit controlling. And they don't want their students to be better than them. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if my students get up and do it better than me, I'm going to be in the front row, clapping and cheering. I'll be crying my eyes out with a box of tissues and throwing the tissues away, because my students become like my babies and my children, and I nurture them, and I want them to be as good as they can be. And I've seen students of mine that have done better than me, got up and got better qualifications than me, and I am so, so proud of that. So as a teacher, don't be controlling. As a teacher, if you see that your student is not progressing in your group, suggest that they move on. But if you feel as a student, excuse me, if you feel, oh, I can tell, she's laced my drink for my throat. If you can tell that you're in a development circle and that you can't progress, then it's time for you to move on as well. And you know, if anybody wants to talk to me about that, then please do. Okay, so Michelle has put up here that we're coming out of lockdown here in the UK Tuesday. Oh, I wish people in the UK would listen and do as they're told and not jump on planes and not go out to the supermarket when they're being told not to. You know, it's crazy. We were really hard done by here. A lot of people feel, especially Victoria. But we did it, and we've actually done so well. I mean, we've got negligible cases here now. And I know that Adelaide's getting some, but okay, it scares me when you say that the UK's coming out of lockdown. It's not even been a lockdown. We haven't. Right, sorry, I didn't read that bit, Michelle. But the UK haven't taken any notice. It's business as usual, apart from gyms, clothes shops, hairdressers closed, and it's business. It closes. It's busy out. I can't quite understand that. Gyms are finished, and I was doing online yoga on Zoom. Brilliant. How's Australia going? Fab, you are a citizen. Shh, can't mention that anymore. Dreams do come true. Still waiting for mine. Yeah, keep putting it out there though, Michelle, because it will happen. I know we put those dreams out there together at one time. Australia, like I said, we've got 0 cases in New South Wales. Victoria was none again today. WA is none. Queensland is none. Northern Territory is none. And Southern Australia has got a few. And they're trying to sort all that out now. But I think it was because we listened, and when we say we were locked down, we were locked down. We had so many restrictions, a 5-kilometre radius of being able to walk, 1 person a day being able to go to the shops, 1 hour of exercise, yeah, and the rest of it you were indoors and you weren't allowed to go anywhere. And I've been so shocked by what's going on in America and what's going on in the UK and Europe, and you think, you know what, guys, it's never going to go away, and I feel that is very, very sad. But anyway, that's I don't want to get politically involved in that. So I put here, I've been talking about my students for the last couple of weeks, as I always do, because I learn a lot from what they're learning and from what I'm teaching them. And as I said, the last 2 weeks we've been putting out about intention. And today we had a small class, so it was very intense because they were able to do a lot more in-depth, detailed stuff. But I asked, I'm asking the question, what constitutes what constitutes good evidence? And good evidence is proof that you've got a loved one with you. So, you know, some people's school of thought at the moment is, you don't have to say who they are or how tall they were or how they passed or what their names were. Well, I'm sorry, but I actually like that information. That's the way I was taught. And it was called CERT, Communicator, Evidence, Reason for Coming, Tying Up. So your communicator and your evidence is, excuse me, I've got a man, he was 5'8", he had dark hair, he was thinning on top, he had glasses, he had heart issues, he died of a heart attack, and he wore size 8 shoes, and he had a glass eye. That's beautiful information. That's about 9 bits of information. And if you've got somebody in your audience going, I know exactly who that is, then you've given good evidence. That constitutes, for me, good evidence. But if you're going to give wishy-washy, I've got a man here, he says he's your dad, I'd like to come to you, he sends you his love, and by the way, he wants to say sorry for not being so communicative when he was here. That doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything at all. I want to know that the person that you've got is my dad or my granddad, and I want the evidence to prove it. So, you know, I watch so many mediums who, I'm going to get Brett on here in a couple of weeks, and Brett and I have got this real beef about people doing messages that are far too long. You know, they're supposed to do, we were taught at the college, the Arthur Findlay College, the rule of thumb was a 7-minute maximum message. And I reckon that it should be 5, because you should be able to do 3 minutes of evidence and get really, really good evidence in that 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes of beautiful, heartfelt, warm message. And you should be able to see the Spirit, listen to what they're saying to you, feel that emotion and that love and that warmth, and be able to convey all of that to your recipient. So your recipient goes, oh my goodness me, that's definitely my dad. That's what I love. That is, for me, constituting good evidence. So, yeah. So please listen, and please, if you are a medium, work on that, because it's very, very important. Okay, so, and also what we were working on today was how does a spirit person prove that they've actually been around you? Well, how do they prove that they're around you? By telling you what you've been doing. So, like yesterday, for instance, today the lady saying, oh, I can see you, I can't remember who it was that came through now, I think it was our uncle Bob,
yeah.
And he's showing me you putting pictures on a wall and balancing them and levelling them. Well, he was obviously around us laughing his head off at us because we were making a pig's ear of it and it kept falling out the wall, and we were having fun. But that is really, really good evidence, but that's proof that the spirit person has been around you. Or, I see, I get lots of people that have lost somebody, and there's obviously a lot of grief and sadness. And I've had so many times where the spirit person says, will you please change the pillow? You've cried so many tears into it. It's so marked and stained. You need a new one. And of course, that lifts the energy and lifts the spirit, makes them laugh, but it takes them out of the grief a little bit as well. So there's lots of things that we should do and could do to help people. But I very much am one to to let people know that your spirit person is there with you. And I say to my spirit people when they work with me, I want you to draw close. I want to feel you. I want you to blend with me, so much so that I become animated like the person. And the number of people that have said, oh my gosh, you spoke like my dad, you were animated like my dad, you were using things that my dad, or the words and the phraseology that my dad would have used.
You get the pain as well.
Yeah, we get the pain of how they've passed. Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Karen. You've obviously had a lie-in this morning, you lazy devil. Sorry, I'm only joking. Yes, we do feel the pain. So if somebody's got, and I get the students to work on that as well. Feel your body when you're trying to work out how they've passed. Feel your body. Do you get a pain in the heart? Have you got it in the stomach? Is it lower down? Are your legs hurting? Have you got, so I sometimes get pain in my head, but it's like a sharp pain, which could be a brain tumour or a head injury, or a muzzy pain, like cotton wool behind my eyes, and that could be blindness or Alzheimer's. So, and then I work out which one it is. So they'll show you different things. You've got pain in your left arm, which could be a heart attack, or a stroke. So different ways of them showing you the pain. We used to have a lovely Mary Smith. Karen will know Mary Smith. She was the most animated medium I've ever seen. And she'd be on platform. She'd, I've got a heart attack. And she'd be keeled over on the platform. And it was so funny. And then she'd say, right, you can take that away now. And she'd be back to normal. And I know I've been standing on one leg on the platform and going, I've got a leg that's been amputated, and I'm standing there just on one leg. So, yeah.
6-inch heels.
In my 6-inch heels. Always in my 6-inch heels. I'm devastated. I can't wear them so much now. And Lynn's got a pair of heels that she's going to give me. I'm so excited about getting those. And
does everybody know how short she is?
Oh, shut up! I'm 5'2" and she's 5'11". Not quite. So Karen's on. I was going to talk about what's coming up. Brett's got his service on tomorrow. So let me put some of these banners up so you can connect to them. Brett is that's the wrong one. It's this one. I always get it wrong. Connected-spirits.com, and Karen, lovely Karen, is on platform tomorrow night. Karen, I can't be with you tomorrow night, unfortunately, but I know you'll do a great job, and I know I've sent it out to people, so there will be a lot. I think the last time there was a service, there were about 32 people on there, so it was fantastic. So good luck tomorrow night, and anybody that wants to join, constitutes-spirits.com, and you'll find all the links, or message Brett. And then 2021 dates for new classes are coming up. So if anybody's interested in the new classes, please let me know, and I will make sure that you get that information. And yes, I've got a show on Wednesday night with Sue Williams, who has organised it. So she is from Abitsa Collective. So I'm doing a dem at 7 o'clock. If anybody wants any information about that one, I haven't put it up here, but it is on my Facebook page with all the links. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Karen. So a dem on, and that's just an evening of mediumship. That is a paid one, and the link will take you through to the payments. But please, come on and share with me. I need an audience, so you'll have to come and talk to me. And then on the 5th of December, with Nash, now I hope I've got their banner. I should have put the other one up as well. Oh, that's the wrong one. Nash, New Addington. Yeah, it's these people on Facebook, New Addington Spiritual Healing. So at 8:30 on Saturday evening, Nash have given me a platform for my students to work, and there's going to be 6 or 7 of them online working with in the UK, with the UK, and it will be 9:30 UK time, so that's 8:30 Australia times. And again, all the links are up, and they will be on my Facebook page. So if anybody wants any information, if they can't find it, just get in touch with me. And of course, I am, let me just find where I am and who I am. That's me. I'll leave that up there for the rest of the thing now, the show. And I don't know what to call me. It's a broadcaster show, Val's Chat, Val's Live. We've also got Fox Pioneer Centre, and again, you can find those Fox Pioneer, foxpioneercentre.org, and they have got all of their information on their website and Facebook as well. And that's a fantastic training school with about 8 qualified, mainly Arthur Findlay qualified and Arthur Findlay tutors on there. And then on the 20th, we've got Ramsgate Spiritual Church, which I'm doing for Lynn. Very, very honoured to be doing that. Lynn agreed for me to do that. So, and that's the 20th at 2 o'clock, I believe, in Ramsgate Spiritual Church, which is the library in Ramsgate Road. Okay, so I'll put a link up for that later on as well. So you've only got to go and have a look on my pages and find out where everything is. Now we've come to the very, very, very important part of the evening. So Ian always says to me, I never know what you never know how you know what to talk about and how you can talk for an hour. When you actually get started, it's actually quite easy, and I just waffle most of the time anyway. So this is my beautiful healing book, which I got from Hever Castle in the UK, and it is Anne Boleyn's prayer book. And it's got a prayer on the front. Remember me when you do pray, that hope doth lead from day to day. So healing names, healing book. 1:30 on the. Oh, somebody told me it was 2 o'clock, Lynn. Okay, 1:30 at Ramsgate on the 20th. Okay, so if you've got names for healing, please let me have them. Even if they've been on before, I don't care. Give them to me, because we'll just reinforce that healing energy that is necessary to put up there. So we are going to now connect to one another, and we are going to sing my lovely song, Heal the World. And I will just get this up, but I've got to find out where I start. There we go. I'll put that on. I'll put that on there. And So I want you to imagine now that it's a bit like Casey's Court here, isn't it? You don't know whether it's going to work or not work. Sorry. But that's the fun of it, and that's me. I'm just, what you see is what you get. I'm nothing special. I'm just a normal person who loves to be able to connect to you and to spirit and be able to share my time with you. And I find this very precious, actually. I really, really, really enjoy doing it. If I didn't, I would have stopped a long time ago. But if you do want me to continue to do this, please let me know. Somebody said, a couple of you said yes. But Jackie was asking me, am I going to continue in the new year? Thank you. And I said, oh, I think so. But I said, I will ask people and find out what they think and what they say. So, okay. So I want you all to imagine that you're all linking hands. So I want you to all, pretend that you're in a circle and that you're all holding hands. And I want you to send this beautiful energy out with your left hand and receive it with your right hand. I love you too, Bella. You're special too. So we're sending that beautiful energy out and around to every single person that is on here and every single person that needs healing. It's gone again. Right, okay, I'll put it on quietly. No. Oh, Ian. I'm going to cry. Okay, so we're sending that lovely energy out, and we're sending out to our village, to our town, to our country, to the world, the beautiful healing energy that we're going to spread, and we're sending it out to and to the universe as well. And then from that universal place, we're allowing that energy to drop on the whole of our world, okay? And we're just sending that beautiful energy out. And when we get to the point, I want you to sing with me, and because I'm not going to be able to sing very well tonight. But you know the words by now, but I want to see you singing as loud as you possibly can. But know that Spirit is listening. Spirit will act on this energy that we're sending out for healing. So whoever you need healing for, send it out there. So to each one of us, our country, our world, our planet, every animal, everybody that is in need. Here we go. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Can you see those words? Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. I'm just checking my neighbours are not looking. Make a better place for you and for me, yes. Heal the world. Make it a better place. I'm listening, I can't hear you. Thank you, Lenny. I love you all too. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Yeah, I'm terrible at singing tonight too. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. You and for me. You and for me. You people are all gorgeous. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me tonight and for putting up with me and my croaking. It gets worse. It will eventually get better, I'm told. But you've been amazing. Thank you for all your questions and all your comments, and I hope I managed to cover them all and say hello to everybody. There's a lot of people on here tonight, and I really thank you. But I will be on next week. Let me know if you still want me back in 2021. Shut up, Ian. I frightened your cat. You cheeky monkey. You haven't got a cat. Yeah, but let me know if you want me back, and I'll make plans. And And I need questions from you. And you know it's not about messages from Spirit. I don't like to do that on here. It is about how to help you. And if you're a student and want to know how to do this better, let me know what your questions are and I can help you. And if I don't know the answer to the question, I'll find out and let you know. And Lenny, yeah, we will catch up in person again. Lynn, I look forward to seeing you on the 20th. And yeah, thank you all very, very much. Thank you to Jackie for participating tonight as well. I love her to bits, really. I know I've knocked her tonight, but we do. We're like sisters, and it is just lovely to have her and Henry here sharing time. And we're going off doing some trekking tomorrow, so that's why I can't be with you tomorrow night, Karen. Yeah, I miss you too, Bella. I actually thought, Bella, that I might bring Jackie and Henry up to Katoomba, so I will keep you posted on that one. And if I do, we'll come and say hi, and you can make us a cup of tea. But anyway, I will see you all next week, same time, same channel. And good night, Jackie, from Lynn.
Good night.
You will see, you may see, are you coming to the church service? She may come to the church service, Lynn. That was one of the three that I was saying hold me a spot. So bless you all. Thank you so, so much for all that you do and all that you do and, you know, connecting. I hope you love all my photographs that I'm putting up. And I hope you love the photographs I put up this week. And the photographs were all taken by my two little granddaughters, 4 and 2. And they were so excited because I gave them free rein with the camera. And it was just lovely to get them to take the photographs. And they felt very, very pleased with themselves. But anyway, have a fantastic week. Think of your questions. Thank you, Kate, as well. Yes, Karen, we will have a great time. Yeah. Love you all and see you next week. I've said that a million times. I don't want to go because I miss you and I love you. Bye.
Good night.
See you soon.